Hello everyone, welcome to our channel, Doom Productions. If you didn't know, we just released a short film. Check it out, it's on our channel. It's about 5 minutes long. You can check it out for free. And last Friday we released a little podcast where we broke down the making of this short film and, all the details, all the kind of anecdotes from making it, all the kind of good, juicy behind the scenes stuff. But today, I wanted to talk about a little bit of the storyboarding process. Something that I've talked about a little bit. I've never done a full breakdown before because that would take too long to do on a feature film length level. But since this is a short film, I thought this would be a good chance to kind of compare my storyboards to the actual shots in the movie. So let's go. What you'll notice up front with the next two shots, this shot of her, our main character, and her point of view of the skeleton man, is those shots are a lot more detailed than most of the shots in the storyboard for this film. That's for a few reasons. One of the reasons is I just storyboarded really quickly. I only wanted to, I just had to board this, so I didn't spend a whole lot of time as I usually do. But, storyboards actually do kind of follow that general path. They usually start out strong for me, and then by the end, they're just kind of stick figures. But these first couple storyboards give you a really good idea of what I'm looking for when I'm making storyboards. I'm looking at composition first and foremost, but then also lighting and shadows and stuff like that. Now, I'm not a good artist by any means, but my goal when I'm storyboarding is to make things crystal clear. I'm a director, but I'm not the cameraman necessarily. I'm not the cinematographer. So it's not always me who's behind the camera. See, I have a vision of what my movie will look like, but that has to be I have to tell Ethan that vision and convey that. And I can do that by talking to him and showing him my pictures, but more often than not, or more than I would like to admit, it's just Ethan setting up the shot and he's just got my storyboards to look at. So I want to make sure that my storyboards are crystal clear as to, what's going on in the frame, how they're working together. Again, because I was storyboarding really quickly, this is a lot less detailed than I personally like, but, again, it's an interesting exercise in what storyboards look like compared to the final movie. You'll notice that some of these shots look a little different, and that's because of just, I storyboarded this before we got into the space and did camera tests, so composition changed naturally. But you'll also notice that there's certain shots that don't have a corresponding storyboard. Now, that's for a couple reasons on a case-by-case basis, but really that could be that we decided to get shots that were not storyboarded the day of. It could also be while I was editing, I thought of a good shot idea that would fit the edit well, so we shot that the next day. We shot this over 2 days. And the other reason could be just the original shots didn't work or was completely different. Things were completely changed, and so they don't have a corresponding shot. So this shot right here, wasn't boarded, so it doesn't have this. Now this is a different composition because when we did the camera test, it turned out, this composition worked a little bit better. And yeah, it's pretty close, pretty interesting. There's not a whole lot of changes going on here. You'll notice that the aspect ratio didn't shift between the project. There was a time where I thought this whole thing might have been 2:3:9, but ultimately I thought it would be nice to start off with 16:9, go to this. But I usually do take aspect ratio into consideration when it comes to storyboarding. The moon shots, that's something you'll notice. The moon motif was not in the storyboards at all. That wasn't even an inkling of my idea. That came in when I was editing, and I decided to add the moon in the wide shots, and I thought, hey, I can do this to the other shots. I can do this cool thing with moonlighting and add that as inserts, and that's why there's no shots of the moon. So that's one of those beautiful things of post-production where it was like, hey, this is a cool idea you have for editing. I didn't have to go out and shoot the moon. I could just do it on my computer in Blender. I thought it worked out pretty well, pretty fun. Obviously the VFX in this aren't totally I think there's a lot of improvements to be made in the VFX, but obviously we shot this in 2 nights pretty quickly, and we had a lot of fun. I think that's the most important part. You'll see that the biggest difference I think in these storyboards is the skeleton man. He lifts up in the storyboards. He was supposed to fly and kind of crumple up in the air and start bleeding, but that just proved too complicated for our time frame. So we decided to axe that idea. You know, it worked kind of power dynamic wise anyways to have him shrink down while she's standing, which was kind of a nice thing. This is the last couple shots of the movie. Wow, went by in a breeze, went by really quick. If you watch this, if you enjoyed this video, thank you for watching. If you'd like to see more storyboard breakdowns like this, let me know in the comments down below. We really appreciate everyone checking this out. We spent a lot of, hard work on it, and it was really fun to make. And so thank you everyone for watching this.